A good day. Today is Tuesday, March the 18th, 2020, and this is Anton Dormer, Kettering Middle School, and this is 8th grade math. These are extraordinary times, and so I will be giving you presentations until we'll return back to our classroom, and hoping that this particular situation will be completed very, very quickly. So basically, we are going to do some review for today. We're going to look at a one-step and two-step equation. That's going to be your assignment. You have already done this, so it should be pretty easy and be placed on Google Docs. Solving equations. What is an equation? An equation says two things that are equal. It says that you have an equal sign like this, and you have an equation, for example, x minus 2 is equal to 4. That equation says what is on the left, x minus 2, is equal to what is on the right, 4. So a statement like this, an equation is like a statement. This, I'm talking about x plus 2 in this case, is equal to that, which will be 4 in this case, right? And so when we have a problem like this, we are looking for a solution. What is the definition of a solution? Well, let's take a look. A solution is a value we can put in place of the variable, such as x, that make the equation true. So how can we make x minus 2 equals 4 true? Well, by making x 6. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4, which is true. So any other value cannot be x, cannot be true for this particular equation. So if I say x is 5, we know that 5 minus 2 is not equal to 4, so that is not true. And so x equals 5 is not a solution. If we say x equals to 9, we know that 9 minus 2 is 7, not 4. So this is not true. And so we will not use 9 because it is not solution. So in this case, only 6. X equal to 6 is the only solution. What happens if we have more than one solution? And we haven't really done any problems like this, but this is a good problem. We have x minus 2 and you have x minus 3 times x minus 2 is equal to 0. So when x is 3, for example, we end up with 3 minus 3, 3 minus 2 equals 0 times 1 is equal to 0. So that is true. So when x is equal to 2, you also get a good answer. So you get x, you get 2 minus 3. 2 minus 2 equals negative 1 because 2 minus 3 is negative 1 right here. Times 0, because 2 minus 2 is 0, is equal to 0 is true. So the solution to this problem could be either x equals to 3 or x equal to 2. So you could put these solutions together and get something called a solution set. So for this particular case, you always put the smallest number first. It will be 2 and 3. Okay, and so there's many different problems that you can have. Let's skip that one here. So we could have something like this. How to solve an equation? And there's no one perfect way to solve our equation. What we wanted to have, and our goal is to have x is equal to something. Again, our objective for this particular class is just to review one-step and two-step equations. All right, so in other words, we want to move everything except for x, or whatever name that the variable has, over to the right-hand side. Okay, so let's say you have 3x minus 6 equals 9, and we have done many of these particular problems. So we have now 3x minus 6 equal to 9. You add 6 to both sides, you end up with 3 equals 3 plus 6. X is now equal to 9 plus 6 over 3. So this is 15 over 3, which is equal to 5. Okay? So solving these particular type of equation is like solving a puzzle. So what are some of the things you do? Well, in fact, solving an equation is just like solving a puzzle, as I mentioned. And like a puzzle, there are things that we can do and cannot do. Here are some of the things that we can do. You want to add or subtract the same value from both sides. You want to clear out any fraction by multiplying every term by the bottom parts or the denominator. You want to divide every term by the same non-zero value. You want to combine like terms. You want to do factoring. Sometimes you have to do expanding, which is the opposite of factoring, may also help. Recognizing patterns such as the difference of squares, and sometimes we can apply a function to both sides, like square both sides to get the problem. Okay, so these are some of the rules that you should be familiar with. Okay, so we haven't done this yet, so we're going to go past. And when we get into algebra, you'll be doing something along this line. And algebra 2, quadratic equations, radical equations, and equations with sine, cosines, and tangents. Okay, so let's go forth. Okay, let's do a few problems. Okay, and I want you to go ahead and do these particular problems. So let's look at question number 1. So question number 1 says the following. Okay, and again, I'm going to go ahead and do this particular problem for you. Okay, bring up my Word document. Okay, I'm going to clear this out. I was doing this for another class. All right, so here we go. So this is a problem that we're working on here. Okay, I'll make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Let's make it, yes, font 20. Here we go. So there's a particular methodology that we have talked about in solving this particular problem. The first thing I want to do is isolate my x. So I will say minus 2 here. Minus 2, minus 2. Okay. And then I now end up with 5x is equal to negative 10. Okay. So I'll divide both sides by 5. So 5x divided by 5 equals negative 10 divided by 5. Okay, so now I end up with x is equal to 2, right? So now I could go back to my answer here and say x is equal to 2. Okay, ooh, all right. What did I do here? Forgot to do my negative sign. So it's x, always be careful with the sign, is equal to negative 2. Okay, so it is negative 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. All right, so I put this in the font a little bit bigger so that you can see. All right, so let's make sure that we are, so here we have is plus 7. And then what I do to one side, I'll do to the other side, plus 7. Okay, so now it becomes 3y equals, and that comes out to what? 33, yes, 33. So y, oh yes, and then I have to divide 3y divided by 3 is equal to 33 divided by 3. So now I have my final answer, y is equal to 11. Okay, use a small y. Right, so let's see if that is correct. Y is equal to 11. Yay, we got it right this time. Got the right sign also. So let's talk about this one over here. All right. So we could basically just look at this almost and get a particular answer. Okay. So in order to get 0, you know that x has to be equal to -2. Okay, so if x is -2, and what you have here, let me put this here, x is equal to -2. So you will have -2, -2 plus 2, -2 plus 2, times 2 times the -2 minus 1. Minus 1 is equal to 0. So now I have 0, 0 times, and that is now equal to -2 times 2 is 4 minus 1. So I have this would be -4. Of course, that's equal to 0. Okay. All right. And so I have also another answer. Okay. I could have x is equal to, and I want something that will give me a 1 here. So I have to say that is 1/2. 1/2. Okay. So let's put that information in. So if I had 1/2 plus 2, 1/2 plus 2, times 2, and I'm multiplying that by 1/2. Half of 2 is equal to 1, minus 1. That should equal to 0. So does it? Well, 2 plus 1/2 is actually 2 and 1/2. Okay. And I'm multiplying that to 2 times 1/2, which is 1, positive 1, minus 1, which is equal to 0. And so I have now 2 and 1/2 times 0, which is equal to 0. So x can be 1, x can be -2 rather, and x can also be positive 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at my answer. So I said x is -2, x is 2. Okay, you got it right. All right, so we are going to stop here for today. I want you to go to this particular URL and go ahead and answer the associated questions associated with it. And I'm going to put up an assignment. So finish this and finish this.